has the purple Terran. It's LastSurprise, and in the top left, as the red Protoss, it's JusticeSimon. Another TVP starting on Triton once again. This is... I see Nightshade in our future. Oh. A bold prediction. JusticeSimon. Vietnamese player who has been coming out of his shell over the past year. Some pretty okay tournament results recently. However, in the AlphaX Apprentice, it's been a little bit hit or miss, so see how he does against LastSurprise. LastSurprise also having mixed results. Yeah, both players sending out a worker scout. I think this is going to be a pretty even match from these two players. June made it seem a little bit lopsided against Exo Striker. I don't think that's going to be the case here. Oof, the Diva spray. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. LastSurprise. Rocking the Team Liquid Horsey decal. The Knight. Opera Cake saying bronze on purpose. You sound like all my Grandmaster friends. Are like, yeah, I'm bronze. I'm just a bronze player. Don't mind me. I've never been 6K in my life. Never happened. Alright, so we can already see a huge difference in playstyle here from JusticeSimon. When compared to Exo Striker. Exo Striker going for a Stargate play, going for his Robo play. JusticeSimon going straight into Blink, being very confident about it, chrono boosting it. We might see a 2-base Blink pressure here, even if JusticeSimon wants to take a third. There's a couple additional gateways. LastSurprise going very Hellion heavy here, which is something we did not see June do in the previous series. So, Banshee with Cloak, and this is going to be a real Cloak Banshee, not fake Cloak Banshee. Coming out onto the field here for a Terran. Stalker's already split to intercept these Hellions, but there's just not enough firepower to stop them before they hit that probe line. There is enough firepower to deflect them into the main. So far, 5 probe kills. If they get one more shot off, yeah, that's going to go up to 7, 8, 9. Oh my god. This is very bad. This is very, 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 very bad for JusticeSimon. And there's still 2 units in this base. I don't think there's going to be any more probe kills here. We need to get like 3 shots off on there. Yeah. Man, 13 probes going down to the Hellion Harass. Of course, in the previous series, we saw June use a Widowmine drop. That's another viable option. But basically, as the Terran, you're trying to get units into your opponent's base. You're trying to get a full scout around, and if you get damage done, well, that's just a bonus. But LastSurprise committing a lot of Hellions there, kind of required to get some damage done, and boy howdy did he ever. Remember, LastSurprise has mules, so he's on about a 47 worker economy right now. We want to put a real number to it, to the 36 of JusticeSimon. Simon trying to grab a third. Observer and Stalker's positioned to deflect this Banshee. It's not going to find even more probe damage, and thank goodness for that, because JusticeSimon really cannot sustain more probe damage. Forge drop for a red player. LastSurprise with a tank on the high ground, tank on the low ground. Getting more bio to the front. He is starting up a third CC. As I was about to say, he's not. There it is. Throwing that down. Gonna move that to location. Then you get an orbital. What have you. Simon not going for the blink pressure. Which is probably wise, especially after losing 13 probes. Charge on the way next for our Protoss, and have a little bit of passivity as these two players get up their thirds and continue to amass their armies. Alright, LastSurprise fueled up and ready to go. Biotank push. Simon gonna scout this with the Observer and the Adept. And, I mean, this is 732 base pressure, alright. Ooh, LastSurprise loses 2 of the medevacs. Oh, no, he just loses 1. He's able to save 1 as well. But you can see how differently Simon is responding to this, right? He is using his space. He's using the fact that he has blinked to fight down some of the Marines, one of the medevacs ahead of time. Oh, no, that Widowmine shot was devastating. However, use of force heals allowing a couple Protoss units to hold here. And the tanks will go down. Very nice micro from JusticeSimon. But can he survive wave 2? And I'm not sure that the answer is yes. This is a little bit beefy here with 4 Widowmines. Now, there's not a ton of, like, get in your face and kill you potential, but there's a lot of zone the Protoss army as you pick off the 3rd potential. No, 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 there's still 3 Widowmines! Oh my god, like 8 Zealots went down. And now LastSurprise can totally get in the Protoss' face. At least till that Quasi comes out, but he doesn't want to press the issue. He just wants to take out the 3rd. And take out the 3rd he shall. GG's called. LastSurprise takes game number 1. In the bottom left corner, taking the win in game number 1, it's LastSurprise. And in the top right, as the red Protoss, it's JusticeSimon. JusticeSimon, you know, holding off the first wave of Terran pressure, but succumbing the 2nd and 3rd. However, We are on Zen. Zen is one of the freakiest maps in the pool. Dare I say it, the freakiest. You have these mineral patches everywhere. You're not going to see these mined out. It's not going to happen. They're not 5 mineral patches. They are, in fact, like 20 mineral patches, so you got to bring quite a few workers to mine them out, and that's a tall order when you're under fire. However, it does mean that, like, in ZVP and whatnot, you can be the Protoss and wall this off with 2 buildings. You can drop either an Evo chamber or a pylon or a supply depot here. Just a 1 building grid wall. However, that does, you know, it's a weak spot. It's a vulnerability. You can hit your opponent from multiple angles and kind of tax their defensive capabilities. But so far, neither player going for cheese. Simon trying to get a delay on the CC of his opponent, but there's too much time. Yeah. LastSurprise gonna pop down that town hall as the Reaper completes and should chase down the... Wait a second. Where's the Reaper? Did he go Marine first? Okay. Alright, interesting. So it looks like LastSurprise is gonna skip the Reaper, unless I made a fatal error somewhere. But it's gonna be a Marine opener directly into Factory. Simon going into Stargate. Okay. LastSurprise going for a proxy starport. This is likely going to drop a tech lab and produce a cloaked Banshee. Simon. Chrono boosting out that Oracle, hoping to get damage done on the Terran side of the map. He's got to be confused about this missing Reaper man. I swear he didn't make one. Well, I mean, now, of course, now he did, but, you know, he didn't make one send it across the map for the scout and everything. Oracle's gonna back off for now. Actually gonna be a Liberator play here from the proxy. STV staying along with that starport as well, so we might see future developments here. Again, devastating worker damage here between the Liberator and the Hellions. 13 probes go down once again here for our Protoss. Now 3 Oracles are going to move across the map, but is it going to be enough? They are a little bit low on energy. It's going to be Marine tank production here from LastSurprise. JusticeSimon gonna move in for the zaps, and we'll see. Oh man, Okay. Alright, that's a little bit more convincing damage, but now they're totally out of energy. They can't even engage the Marine. So they're going to have to back out. JusticeSimon evening up the economy a little bit, but dare I say it, not nearly enough. Okay, this is going to go a lot farther towards evening out the economy. They don't really commit. I feel like the Oracles picked too many targets there while they were dishing out their energy. But another 4 SCVs at no cost to the Protoss is nice. So I think that's like an 8 SCV death count so far, maybe 9. To the 17 that have been murdered for the Protoss, so... We're rounding the corner to 7 minutes. You can already see the tanks eager to move out, unsieging. And it's very well... Actually, it's not even very well. This is going to be a 7:30 push here from LastSurprise. There it is, 7:22. The supply depot's lowered. There's 7:30, and like clock, well, okay, it does halt, but that's mostly because there's 3 Oracles in his main, and they just killed a freaking Cyclone. Oh my god, we'll just, okay, nope, he can't cancel Stimp, he doesn't have enough energy. But hey, that's another 3 dead workers. LastSurprise, flying home, starport, getting a reactor on it. And he's gonna pull the boys with this push. He probably feels, you know, it's a little bit delayed, so he's going to pull all of his workers, use them as meat shields. I guess like mech shields, right? Because SCVs are little mechs. Storm not quite finished here for JusticeSimon, which is quite a bit unfortunate. It would be a huge asset in this battle to be storming down the workers. Double bunker at the front. JusticeSimon collapsing on the Terran, dropping his storms, and they are some good ones. Yeah, no, GG. JusticeSimon gonna even up the score 1-1. In the top left of Ephemeron, it's the purple Terran, LastSurprise. And in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, it's JusticeSimon. LastSurprise, trying to pull all the boys. It was JusticeSimon was having none of it in the previous game. Once again, it came down to the 7.5 minute 2 base pressure from the Terran to decide the entire game. But hey, JusticeSimon has made LastSurprise bleed. Let's see if he can follow it up here in game number 3. Oh my god, this is going to be a successful worker harass. But does he lose the probe? Depends how many tough corners he takes. He can't lose acceleration here. But JusticeSimon getting first blood on the board. As well as a small delay with that barracks. LastSurprise again going for a Marine opener. You know, in the previous game, I feel like LastSurprise did not need to pressure the Protoss. He killed 15 workers. He was quite far ahead. And the Oracles only did nominal damage, considering that there were 3 of them. So I felt like he could have just sat at home and defended. He didn't really need to pull the boys there. But I guess LastSurprise read the situation a little bit differently than I did. And that's why I'm not Grandmaster. I'm only Masters. Twilight Council dropped. JusticeSimon. Stalkers moving to the front to intercept any nasty incoming forces. It's gonna be another starport tech lab on the factory. So it looks like we're not going to see another Hellion harass this game. LastSurprise going right into Marine Siege Tank. And there's a tech lab on the starport. Interesting, interesting. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. See if he develops any tech lab shenanigans. How about starport shenanigans? Or swaps the barracks on it and starts researching Stim right away. Simon, chrono boosting out some blink. Although we have yet to see him really use it aggressively. He is going to move in 2 stalkers here. He's trying to get a pick on the tank. He's not able to. Drops a recall on the stalkers, but neither of them will make it out. Here we go. Marine tank push with a couple of the boys pulled in front. LastSurprise has crossed the Rubicon. And Simon's eaten a little bit of hull damage in these stalkers, but I think he has plenty here to defend. And LastSurprise will be deflected. Oh no, that tank's going to go down right away. Blink, 5 seconds away from finishing. And Simon can push out now if he wants. He can totally run down this Terran force. Unfortunately, he has Fog of War. We do not, so he doesn't know where LastSurprise is positioned or how much he has out on the map. Yeah, he's being so careful. This is a value Banshee. Another dozen probes. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. The probe kills in LastSurprise games are insane. They're out of this world. But, you know, Simon lost like 15 the previous game, and he was able to pull off the win, so... What's another 12 dead workers among friends? There's our customary combat shields. There's our customary stim reactor going down on the starport. A little bit of a supply block here from LastSurprise. It's going to get cleared up relatively quickly, but still an annoyance, still a delay on the units. Of course, that delays your whole production by just a little bit, and that can start to add up the more it happens. Simon with a much earlier Marine tank push this game, not going to be moving out at the 7:30 mark. Could be waiting for medevacs, but I don't know. He might as well just take a third at this point, I think. He did have one building in his main, so... LastSurprise dropping a scan on his opponent. Simon poking out, blinking onto the tanks, being a little bit aggressive on his defense. He's of course going to back out now, but I don't think this was a little bit... Yeah, this was a little bit overly brave here from JusticeSimon. It's going to get cut down, and that's GG. LastSurprise goes up 2-1 in the best of 5. In the top right of Eternal Empire, it's LastSurprise. And in the bottom left, as the Red Protoss, it's JusticeSimon. JusticeSimon really overextending a little bit in the previous game. These are like these big samurai showdowns, I feel like, in TVP, where there's all this build-up, right? Like, the wind's blowing, cherry blossoms are swirling across the screen, and nothing's happening as the two players just, like, eye each other up. And then, all of a sudden, like, LastSurprise picks off 15 probes, and then all of there's nothing. They just talk about, like, the last move that was launched, and then all of a sudden, 7.5 minutes comes, and it's like, up, time to bring the Marine tank, and... It's the second Samurai Slash to either get deflected or take down JusticeSimon. But LastSurprise going for a proxy Rax here is not by any means all in. He has one back home as well, getting the gas up. So this is going to be what I like to call the Max Rax. The Max Pax, of course, is when the Protoss... proxies just the first gateway, so he can get out a quicker Stalker or a quicker Zealot to the Terran's Natural and get a delay on that, and continue aggression, continue sieging the Terran. The Max Rax is where you proxy just one barracks to get the Reaper out quicker. But I'm totally wrong. I'm totally incorrect here. It's going to be Proxy Marauder. What the heck? There's the Marauder. We should see slow anytime now. Okay, LastSurprise pulling a couple SCVs to build bunkers at the front as well. Maybe tank some damage. 2 Adept Shade down. There's the bunker, and JusticeSimon now knows exactly what's happening here. LastSurprise pushes in. And this is going to be a rough hold here for JusticeSimon. Not like this. Adept Shade down the ramp. Simon's gonna cancel the shade. Looked like he could have slid past there, but decided not to, I guess. Shield batteries in the main here for JusticeSimon. He's gonna force field out his opponent and pick off the SCVs as they slaughter his adepts through the force field. That was the world's most delayed sound effect, but alright, you know what, I'll take it. A Dark Shrine finishing up behind this for JusticeSimon. Could this be his ticket back into the game? Very well might be. He has a whole proxy base going up, well, he has a whole little proxy going up here toward the left corner of the map. Simon sneaking in these Dark Templar. He has a very uphill battle, but CT's maybe going to make it a little bit less uphill, and he... LastSurprise only on 1 orbital and does not have a scan. So his double-bladed size going to cut swaths through the worker line of our Terran player. And JusticeSimon, despite losing his Nexus, is now up 5 times the economy of his opponent. 6 times even. 7! There's finally a scan, but now, I mean, LastSurprise really needed that to be a mule. Oh my god, he has 2 workers. He has 2 workers, but they're at the proxy. This is game. Oh wait, no. Okay, he has 1 back home. Alright. That's it. That's GG. JusticeSimon wins the game with 2 Dark Templar. That was absolutely mad. That was insane. In the bottom right corner, as the purple Terran, it's LastSurprise, and in the top left, as the red Protoss, it's JusticeSimon. The two have been trading blows, but it all comes down to the ace match. Who's gonna take the win? Who's gonna take the bitter defeat? On, you guessed it, Nightshade. I'm only surprised that it appeared this late in the lineup. So Simon gonna block off the Reaper jump, send out his probe scout. LastSurprise just getting his refinery up, getting his barracks up. I think we're going to see a more standard game from both these players. It's going to be all about that 7:30 to 8-minute push from LastSurprise. You know, there is the question, is Simon going to go for blink play again? Is he going to go for a Stargate? LastSurprise scouting all over the Protoss base, with players getting up their second town halls, and we're off to the races. Our Terran player is going to get a Reaper this game and utilize it in a meta-conforming fashion. That Adept's like, hey, wait a minute. Wait, what was that? Did I see something? Oh no, oh god. Killing the probes. Yeah, no kills on this Reaper yet. Did I say that? He gets first blood here. Oh, that's 2. Okay, 2 but loses the Reaper. He lost it like just late enough. Yeah, I think it was worth it, but it still really sucks that LastSurprise lost the Reaper. I would almost give up one of the SCV or the probe kills just to keep the Reaper alive. So it's gonna be a Widow Mine drop, and Simon totally knows what's going on now. Protoss is going to camp the Terran Natural for as long as he can. LastSurprise continuing to pump out workers in his main that hopefully he could eventually transfer. Simon pulling the old Adept Shade up the ramp so that the Terran can't maneuver his units about. And surprise, surprise, it's going to be a bio play from LastSurprise. He's getting a reactor on the factory this time, but there is still a spare tech lab. Probably one of the barracks going to move onto the tech lab and start researching stim here. Meantime, our Protoss friend is going for the blink play. It's about halfway done and has finished a robotics facility as well. Third drops as we speak. Pylon is going to scout the medevac moving in, so not quite the time for it, but that time is quickly approaching. There we go. So the Pylon did see that. However, JusticeSimon didn't. He's not reacting at all. There we go. Alright, so 3 Widow Mines for 3 probes and the delayed mining time. Oh, no, he has an Adept tagged onto it, okay. Port Prism coming out for JusticeSimon. He has a pretty decent stalker count here, but still below the army supply. The Terran workers are neck and neck, which means the Terran has a bit of an economic lead. Stim about 2/3 of the way done. More Widow Mines being pumped out. And we all know what's going to happen here. Seconds are ticking by. However, JusticeSimon think, hey, the best defense is a good offense. What that means is he can start shooting at these units and then just blink backwards, kite it backwards. There's 2 Widow Mines. And nice pick here to start off for the Protoss. Definitely not game ending. Definitely not going to end the push, but that medevac goes down, that might be a different story. And this is what I was talking about with that blink micro just strafing the Terran back across the map. Okay. JusticeSimon just has too much here. LastSurprise is lucky he slipped through those force fields, but I mean, JusticeSimon is just going to go in for the kill. Here's the blink forward. He has no reason not to gun these units down. And down goes the medevac. And maybe the game here for LastSurprise. He doesn't have a tank back at home, only a single Widow Mine and a handful of bio. Oh no. Simon is respecting this drought too much. No, he's not. He's not. He's not respecting it enough. Widow Mine got 8 probe kills. Okay. What do I know? Simon still has enough to break this for sure. And this third is totally vulnerable. One shot goes off on the Zealots, but it's not enough to get the kill. GG is called, and JusticeSimon takes the series 3-2.